Brothers and sisters and friends, this afternoon we want to talk about the ballot or the bullet. The ballot or the bullet explains itself. We have a fight that's common to all of us. We suffer political oppression, economic exploitation, and social degradation. Today it's time to stop singing and start swinging.
Hey. Good morning. Bing, bok, boom, bok, bam. It's going down.
All right, there you go.
First guy Omaha in the morning.
Yeah, I like that. I like how you do that in there. Yeah.
Kendrick speak has become a second nature to me now.
Man.
As soon as I said, hey, I was like, okay.
Hey, what they talking about? Ain't talking about nothing. What they talking about?
What they talking about? They ain't talking about nothing. We ain't talking about nothing. Huh? We ain't talking about nothing. Good morning, good Friday. We appreciate everybody joining us early this morning on a Friday. 7:01 right now. If you believe in the concept of time, it is V-Day.
Yeah.
February 14th.
Day of love.
Yeah, man. Whole lot more Galentine's Day events going on tonight than it is Valentine's Day events. So,
what does that tell you?
What they talking about? They ain't talking about nothing. Good Friday morning and mad love from Las Vegas from Pops. Good morning. Appreciate you getting up this morning super early with us.
Man.
Tamika Johnson is sending us some sunshine, and I really wish it was real because it's really cold outside right now. It feels like negative something.
Yeah.
Leia Keister gives us a fry yippee yay yippee yo yay.
Okay. Yeah. Good job.
See? You know what happened was I practiced a little bit with the what they talking about. They ain't talking about nothing. What they talking about.
There you
Loosens your mouth up a little bit. So.
Me.
Yeah. Sorry, that's what I got to do. Sean McCarthy gives us a morning. Appreciate you. Marlon Harrison says, good morning, First Sky fam, and happy Valentine's Day to all. There you go.
Yes.
Ariel's 402 says, you ain't saying nothing but a thing.
Okay.
Hey, man. Appreciate you guys getting up this morning. Do us a favor, share the show on your page if you're on Facebook. See a lot of YouTubers right now. That's what's up. Like and subscribe over there. Appreciate that.
Come on in.
Yeah, as you can see, we got some things happening on YouTube, and we're gonna have some more things happening on YouTube. Just recently, we talked to Felicia with Love Felicia, who's gonna be in town this weekend. Her and Michelle Trosclair, our own Michelle Trosclair, will be back, and they're gonna be doing verbal gumbo on the 15th, man, Saturday. Doing the thing, respecting the mic, bringing it back. So the verbal gumbo fam's gonna come through. I would highly suggest you go to our YouTube page and see this conversation we had with Miss Felicia because it was great. It was a good history of poetry, especially in Omaha, and all the stuff that's been going on since the 90s to promote. It was a great thing. It's a great thing.
I actually talked about the future a little bit too. Shout out to Sister Jewel Rogers. You know,
man,
yeah. The future is bright. The future is bright
for poetry. So yeah, definitely come through. You know, they kind of do this kind of annually now. It used to be a every Thursday show, but now. When that shut down years ago, they started doing it annually. So this is that annual verbal gumbo event. And, you know, it's interesting that they're having this because the very next day is going to be the OEAA Awards.
Yeah, man.
And they're going to be receiving a special award on that day. So shout out to all the work that Michelle and Felicia has done over the years. And shout out to the OEAA Awards for being the kind of organization that recognizes that. And it's a very important situation. So.
And the award they're getting, John Heaston Cultural Stewardship Award. Come on, man. Put some respect on his name.
I'm going to put the link in the chat for you guys to buy tickets. Definitely get your tickets for the OEAAs. Please come on through. It's going to be a great show. And also, make it a weekend. The night before, come on through the Verbal Gumbo as well. I'll throw the Verbal Gumbo link in there too, so you can have it all.
Yeah. For all the gumboers.
All the gumboers. Yeah, check it out. We will do our best to be around because it is going to be cold this weekend. I have to reiterate that. Yeah, man. Ariel's 402 says the wife and met a blind date Valentine's Day weekend 15 years ago. Met on a blind date. So
Man.
there's a positive Valentine's story for you right there.
So is it technically your anniversary? Is it?
Easy to have an anniversary on Valentine's Day, isn't it?
Man.
Hard to forget. Michelle Moreno gives us a good morning, happy Friday. Appreciate you. Clarice Jackson in the chat. Good morning. Good morning to you. Appreciate you coming through this morning.
Hey.
We got a few things to talk about today. We got a special guest. We're anticipating Brother Qasim from the Black Agenda Alliance coming through, talking to us about the Survival Club and also other things in store in the Black Agenda Alliance. So we'll be definitely talking to him. And we're kind of right in the middle of the head of today's headlines today. So we'll just keep on rolling on through. Don't forget, we're doing the takeover. We've been teamed up with Omaha Public Library on the 28th. We're going to be taking over their podcast. So get your podcast where podcasts are found. It's the takeover. It's going down. This is Omaha Public Library's podcast. You can get those podcasts anywhere. I think I get mine on Apple Music or something like that. So, yeah, check out the book drop. And yours truly, me and Buddy, going to be on there on the 28th, taking it over. So stay tuned for that. Appreciate that. Also, I keep on putting this old picture up that she's raised more money than this. But shout out to Idle Vital and everybody who's been trying to help Idle Vital stay open. Help her with the cost, this unintended cost or unexpected cost that she has on the new place. And everybody's been talking about it and been raising some funds. I think she's up to somewhere like $5,000. She's got a little bit more time left to try to reach this before the health department comes and tries to mess with her. So please continue to help her do what she's doing as well. And if I can find her link, I'll put that in the chat as well. We're still trying to help our sis over there at Idle Vital. Stay vital. Appreciate that.
Clock is ticking, y'all.
Clock is ticking. Appreciate that very much. Also, clock is ticking on this Black Fund. We'll tell you a little bit about the Black Fund that's happening. Shout out to IB Black Girl who was putting some things. They got an application open for the Black Fund. They're doing some things with this fund. They actually got like $1 million that they're able to give back out. Yeah, it's going to be really interesting. I'll play you some slides. Black Fund invests $1 million in Black-led reproductive well-being organizations across Nebraska, building capacity, strengthening the ecosystem, and improving outcomes. That's what it is.
Man.
You can apply. Nebraska-based organizations located in service provided, in service provided, 501c3 or fiscally sponsored. 85% of the leadership of the organization, project, and program benefactors must identify as Black women, femmes, or girls. Budget size $3 million or smaller. That's who can apply. And how can you apply? Nebraska-based organizations, of course, they got to be Nebraska-based, located in the service provided. 501c3, fiscally sponsored. 85%. Oh, that's the same slide. Okay, who can apply? Where you can apply, I'll have to pull that for you. But this is going to be open until what's the final date? I think I got the banner in the way, so I can't see it. What's the final date that you can apply on this? February 23rd. So that's what we're talking about. It's coming up shortly. The submission will close on February 23rd. So if you want some more information on this, please check out IB Black Girl. As a matter of fact, I think we have a link to the Black Fund as well. If you qualify, man, you know, there's nothing that is really awesome when an organization that's already doing some good work is also heading up a fund to try to help other organizations around them do good work. So yeah, really about this. So shout out to Ashley Spivey, shout out to IB Black Girl, everybody who's working at IB Black Girl on this. Man, there's some things gonna be happening here in 2025. I can feel that. Everybody's really getting busy with it. So yeah, man, that's what's happening. Also, I want to shout out the Empowerment Network for all the state of North Omahas that they did. They did 3 or 4 of them. And if you go to their website, you can, or actually, if you go to their Facebook page, you can watch the recap of all those shows. If you missed any of those meetings, it would be very interesting to see what was said and who was talking and so on and so forth. Thought you might want to check that out. So check out the rebroadcast of the 2025 State of North Omaha meetings. And yeah, definitely check it out. Feel out what's happening and see where we can jump in, dive in, and also be a part of that as well. So with that said, like I said, we got our brother Qasim coming on through. We're anticipating him coming through from the Black Agenda Alliance and going to talk to us about the Survival Club and a few more things. And that'll pretty much do it for our community news. Also, one more thing. This is the Urban Survival Club flyer here at 2:15. This is going on tomorrow, Assembly of the Saints. Open enrollment and parent meeting is going on. So like I said, we'll talk more about it when Brother Qasim comes on. But this is going to be one of them important things happening this week right here. Teach the boy, create the man.
Hey, yeah,
On down.
I like that.
That'll do it. I'll pass it over to Buddy. What's going on in the headlines this morning, Buddy?
Man, actually, before we jump into the headlines, shout out to Sister Clarice Jackson in the chat, kind of giving us some community updates of her own. Says Black Literacy Matters Conference, March 19th through the 21st at UNO. You don't want to miss it. Register at blackliteracymatters.eventbrite.com. Again, that's register at blackliteracymatters.eventbrite.com. She says, let me know if you need assistance in attending. Definitely check it out. Shout out to Sister Clarice Jackson. Would definitely love to still speak to you because Black literacy does matter. So again, yeah, check that out. Yeah, man. But yes, jumping into the headlines. This is kind of, man, the big headline that happened. And again, here at First Guy Omaha, we're all about having the conversations that people aren't having and really pushing the line on that one. And definitely want to continue to remind us to think about our houseless brothers and sisters. Again, don't want to really call them homeless because at the very least they have a home in our hearts. And again, definitely thinking about the individual that was caught up in a very tragic situation. Luckily, they were rescued. But Thursday morning, according to KMTV3, a homeless person was mistakenly dumped into a garbage truck while seeking warmth in a dumpster. And again, as we're getting this last wave of frigid weather for the year, yeah, man, definitely thinking about our houseless brothers and sisters who have to weather the storm, if you will. And not really familiar with any resources out there. So if anybody has any resources for our houseless brothers and sisters trying to get warm, trying to get out of this frigid weather, please let us know. KMTV did speak. Apparently, I didn't know the city of Omaha has a homeless service coordinator, Sister Tamara Dwyer, who says she never sees these types of instances, but does say that there are individuals out there and organizations seeking to offer some resources. So again, if you find yourself in a houseless situation or you have a loved one who's dealing with houselessness, you can check out the Heartland Family Services Peer Center that's in Council Bluffs. They do offer resources such as gloves, hats, coats, socks, sleeping bags, blankets, tarps, and other resources. That's located at 3415 West Broadway in Council Bluffs. Again, that's 3415 West Broadway in Council Bluffs. And again, this is something that we should continue to talk about, especially in Omaha. Shout out to Chris Babyboy Bowling on his reporting out of Flatwater. Apparently, Omaha has some of the highest homelessness in the nation, and actually that number is growing at a faster rate than any other major U.S. city. So again, big shout out to Baby Boy Bowling and Flatwater Free Press. If you would like to check that out, we'll post that in Friends of, because yeah, they do some pretty in-depth and extensive reporting, but some very, very good information there. So again, yeah, definitely just again, keep your houseless brothers and sisters in mind. I know a lot of people, dealing with the panhandling and stuff like that. But my kind of philosophy is if you have enough shame to sit there and beg and ask for something, then you probably really need it. So it's my thoughts.
Yeah, just like anything that happens with human beings, there's going to be people that take advantage of the situations, scam, so on and so forth. But for the most part, people that are out there because they really need it.
Man, and even to that point, like if you're down enough that you got a scam to do that, then you might actually need it.
Yeah. For them, I mean, hopefully we can do something for the society that will make it so that they don't have to, people can get some other resources before they get to that level, which is what we're working for.
That part. But moving along, again, something else to look out for. We did speak to Phil Rooney of Douglas County Health, who did mention that although COVID numbers are still around, still going, the bird flu hasn't necessarily hit Douglas County. But shout out to Nebraska Examiner for reporting that there is a case of highly contagious bird flu being reported in Saunders County. So again, just keep an eye out, especially in this era of Trump kind of cutting budgets and making it hard to get information of exactly what's going on in our government. This whole pandemic, possibly of bird flu. Again, I'm hearing more and more about this avian influenza, aka bird flu, making its way into humans. And now we have another case in Nebraska. So just, stay vigilant. Make sure you're wearing the masks, washing the hands, all that good stuff, especially with, again, the temperatures the way they are. Flu season is still upon us. So stay vigilant, y'all. Stay vigilant.
Mess with that yard bird, you got to wash your hands. I just saw an article that the CDC is having a hard time getting information out. So to your point, buddy, Yeah. Government agencies are not able to report like they need to be reporting, so we got to keep talking about it.
Yeah, it's actually been a few people going to the CDC to find out that a few of the pages that they're relying on are just shut down completely, just not even accessible. So yeah. Stay on top of it if you're hearing anything. Shout out to brother Anthony Rogers Wright in the chat. He says LB 573 seeks to address bird flu, protect meat packers, and expedite their ability to unionize, which is huge. Again, shout out to Chris Baby Boy Bowling and his reporting on the reality of some of these meat packing plants. And cutting up that yard bird in those slaughterhouses. If anybody's susceptible to these diseases, then it's those workers. Again, blood soaked masks, things like that. Yeah. I'll save the imagery, but you know what I'm getting at. Yeah. But moving along in other news, this coming out of Nebraska Examiner, and actually we're connecting it to a story out of Flatwater. Again, shout out to Yancey Shu and the Flatwater Free Press for their constant reporting on the nitrate situation in the water. Again, nitrates have been connected to fetal cancer, again, youth cancer, a lot of health issues, especially in our young folk. High numbers of nitrates being reported in the water, and that is still ongoing. So again, big concern when you consider the fact that Pillin, who is the state's largest pig farmer, and again, nitrate levels in the water have been tied to his pig farms. That's kind of concerning when you look at what he's doing with the environmental and resource departments in the state. According to the Nebraska Examiner, Pillin is eyeing a merger and has appointed a natural resources director to lead environment and energy. Again, the interim director of resources has been tapped to lead the Nebraska Department of Environment and Energy, a first step in Governor Pillin's goal to combine the agencies, which again, the largest pig farmer, nitrates in the water, environmental risks. Yeah, we should be paying attention to what Pillin is doing with this situation. And be careful with the water. I'll just say that. If you can get you some bottled water, you might want to do that. Yeah.
Tough.
Tough indeed. So that pretty much does it for the headlines. We'll be getting a little deeper into some of this throughout the show. As Paul mentioned, we will be having Brother Qasim on, and I definitely want to talk to Brother Qasim, especially about what this last story. Bernie Sanders is on tour for this whole fighting oligarchy tour. Again, the dangers of Trump and where this country is going. And I specifically want to speak to Brother Qasim because, his ideas of self-sufficiency and again, kind of surviving outside of this system. What does that look like? What does that mean? And, maybe we all need to start considering that a little bit more. So again, we have Brother Qasim coming on, hopefully a little later on. In the meantime, between time, Paul B.
Yo.
What's the word?
Man, we're going to take a little break and we'll come back and we'll jump into some of these stories. Love that you guys are joining us this morning. Do us a favor and share the show on your page if you would, and also we're looking forward to your comments and questions. Get your questions ready for Brother Qasim, and also let people know. Just spread the word. Tell a friend. Let people know this is going on so we can have these conversations. Appreciate everybody that's jumping in with some more information. Anthony Rogers right in the chat. LR22CA will give every Nebraskan the constitutional right to clean air, clean water, and the healthful environment. Hearing is on 226.
Man,
the information we need is coming up, so I appreciate that. And he also put a link in the chat for you to check it out and be a part of that as well. Legislature. This is what this is about too, man. We really got to pay attention to some of these bills here and talk to the senators about which ones we need to go check out. Mm-hmm. And so we appreciate everybody has information on that. This is the season. Ballad of the Bullets going down. Stay tuned. We'll be right back. You're listening to First Sky Omaha in the morning. I'll be buddy to God.
I'll be.
They ain't talking about nothing. What they talking about? We ain't talking about nothing. We'll be right back. Welcome back. First Sky Omaha in the morning.
In the morning.
I was trying not to clear my throat before the line came on. Couldn't help myself. Appreciate you guys joining us today. Arrows 402 in the chat says, I'm writing a letter today in support of LB 215, Adopt a Clean Slate Act. It helps support communication from the Board of Pardons. Okay. Appreciate that information. I would jot that down and do a little bit more research on that. Yeah. Board of Pardons. Okay. Yeah. I can't wait to learn a little bit more about that. Thank you. Thank you. As you can see, we have people that are chat chimers and ghost listeners that are paying attention to some of these bills, man. And after 3 or 4 seasons of us really kind of talking about these, making a difference here, we got people writing letters, people going up to the legislature, people paying attention and spreading the information. So I can't tell you how happy I am that that's the case. Because this is something we weren't paying attention to 4 or 5 years ago. At least I wasn't. At least me and my crew weren't. So that's what's up.
Not only that, but sharing information on how to get active for those who don't know. So again, if you aren't sure about how to write a letter, how to put in a public comment, there's a few resources on Friends of First Guy Omaha on Facebook. If you're still there, again, to check that out. So maybe we'll share that in some other places, but maybe even put that on the newsletter. Actually, that might be some valuable information to put on the newsletter. Big shout out to those who are sharing that. Because, man, we got to spread as much information and inform each other as much as possible, especially in this era of Trump, which is what I kind of want to pivot into, man. Jump into this Bernie Sanders story, if that's okay.
Mm-hmm.
Here we are on the 14th. And again, 7 days from today, Bernie Sanders will appear in Omaha as he launches a new national tour fighting oligarchy, which is very interesting. Again, Pops on this show has made the comparison several times between Trump and Hitler. We've seen, some Nazi activity. I don't know if you caught the story of Lincoln Heights, where that rally, and I'm looking at your face. You didn't hear about that?
Which one? Which crazy thing about you?
Man, it's been a lot. It's been a lot. But there's a Nazi rally in Lincoln Heights. I forget.
Oh, you talking about they stormed the neighborhood and they got ran out.
Yep. The people. Yeah. But again, this is
not gonna come up to a black neighborhood and not get ran out.
But again, this is the environment that is coming along with Trump. And the whole fear of oligarchy is reaching a fever pitch. Actually, earlier this year, the Associated Press released an article talking about that. And now, again, we have Bernie feeling the burn. Again, making a tour. Apparently, according to the article out of Omaha World Herald, the tour will, quote unquote, focus on the takeover of the national government by billionaires and large corporations and the country's movement toward authoritarianism. That's according to the campaign press release. In Omaha and Iowa City, Sanders plans to hold town halls and discuss the most pressing issues facing working class people in the Midwest. He also plans to outline how Americans can fight back against Trump and Elon Musk, who are quickly moving the country toward authoritarianism, oligarchy, and kleptocracy, according to Bernie Sanders. Surrogates for Sanders say the tour will focus on connecting with working class voters who live in districts that voted for former President Joe Biden, i.e. the blue dot. Biden defeated Donald Trump in Nebraska's 2nd congressional district, again the blue dot, in 2020, and in 2024, Republican incumbent U.S. Representative Don Bacon beat Democrat Tony Vargas, but Kamala Harris beat Trump in this same district. Again, doors for the event open at 5:30. But again, kind of directing the conversation to what are we going to do? Again, we like to, prioritize our conversations here. And oftentimes we don't really try to pay too much attention to what Trump is doing. We've been pushing the line of local politics, having the most impact on our lives. But what do you do when the local politics and the local politicians, i.e. our state leadership, falls in line with the foolishness and pushes the line? Again, we've talked about the ICE activity in the community, where we're seeing some budget things and cuts and things like that. So again, this is just kind of an open conversation as far as where we're going, what's the pulse of the culture, as far as this nation, and how are we responding or being proactive more so in this situation. So yeah, thoughts on that? A few people coming into the chat already. Mm-hmm. What say you, Paul?
Yeah, Anthony Rogers right in the chat is saying working class people in the Midwest means white people to Bernie. He will say nothing about racial justice because he thinks that that's a losing strategy. He says Bernie has been exposed for the fraud and sheepdog for the Democrats he's become since 2018. He's going to be protested hard. Yeah, I expect that he will be protested hard in the red state
Really?
by Republicans. Yeah. So
Okay.
yeah. So I think that's part of the thing coming to the tour. Is coming to places like that he probably will be protested for fighting against what's going on right now with the oligarchs. So yeah, I understand your point of view, Brother Anthony Rogers. Right, appreciate that point of view. I do think that I think that a lot of people are standing up right now, not just Bernie, to there's a lot of lawsuits that are happening right now. A lot of people speaking up against the moves that are being made. ACLU's fired up. Everybody's really trying to circumvent this Trump effect that you call it, and they have to. So it's interesting to see what comes up, and it's really interesting to see what comes up from mainstream news, because I'm starting to see a drop off in people in mainstream news even talking about the people that are fighting a little bit. You know what I'm saying? So yeah. Yeah, I'm not sure about that, bro. You're the only leftist that I know that is talking about protesting Bernie Sanders. So if you let us know about some more people that feel that way and that would actually spend the energy to protest somebody who's coming to try to talk about the fight a little bit. Also, Wanda Lewis in the chat, good morning, says one of Trump's godchildren visited the Oval Office yesterday. Did anyone happen to see it? Talking to Elon Musk's son. That has been all over the news. Yeah. What cracked me up about that was Elon Musk's son, who was like mouthing for Trump to shut up. I don't know if you saw that part, but yeah, it was hilarious. It was hilarious. We hadn't really talked about that much, but yeah, that was kind of hilarious how people are saying this is that picture of Elon standing over him looked like the most powerless president ever, and the kid running around. Yeah. It's wild out here, man. It's wild. As much as I don't try to talk and bring up stuff much about Trump and what's going on, I mean, it's kind of not any way that you can't right now, because of every day there's a move. He's making some kind of grandiose, crazy move that we're having to discuss. People getting laid off of jobs and departments getting dissolved, and a whole department of people that have access to the nuclear codes just got fired. There's so much going on every day. How can you not talk about it?
Right. And the extent to which it impacts, us personally. I'm, having several conversations with family members about how I think there's one move that's being proposed to add hospital bills to your credit score. And if that's the case, then some people's credit score can tank overnight.
Wow.
Credit cards, like people's nest egg, not to mention what's going on with pensions, especially those who are, again, both my father and stepfather are retired military. What does that mean for their nest egg that they have been, building and relying on over years? We try to avoid talking about all of this because, again, we recognize the local politics has a much more immediate impact, but this is different. This can't be ignored.
Yeah, especially in this state where we, like you said, our representatives are falling in line with what Trump is doing. So that means a lot. That means a lot. 7:28 right now. If you believe in the concept of time, we appreciate you guys joining us. We have our special guest waiting in the wings. Before we get there, I see our brother Jahisha Shabazz is in the chat.
Peace.
Says Bernie Sanders is a part of the oligarch. Think so? He says we need to stop with the polarizing ignorance. Joe Biden had 47 years of political racism against black people. Trump is 40 years behind him. Neither party is ours. Stop it. Fully agree with that.
Yeah. Fully agree. We're here to have the conversation, brother. Speak your mind. Speak your peace.
Yeah, I fully agree. Neither party is. I have been impressed with some of the stuff that Bernie's been doing, because he's pretty far to the left, which is the reason why I don't think he gets a lot of attention. He's even farther. He's super far to the left, according to some people. So. But yeah, I mean, how much can he even get done in that circumstance? Because who's able to support that? He did run for president. He did lose. So this and you're right. Like, if we want to really get down to business, we need to have a third party. I just watched a movie last night. I just watched a documentary last night called what time? Nation Time. Nation Time. If you guys haven't seen that Nation Time documentary, It's about a gathering of all the black leaders back in 1972 that came together, and they were saying that same thing, man. You know, Jesse Jackson said, "I'm a black man and I want a black party," and they were really discussing it. They had delegates from all over the country. They were trying to get to a black agenda. It was really interesting to watch that happen. As a matter of fact, they actually banned the movie for a while because they said it was too militant. And so a couple of film organizations revitalized it, revived it, and it was crazy to see how many people were on stage, man. Coretta Scott King, I mean, everybody you can think of was in one room having this discussion, and reminded me of stuff that happens at the Black Agenda Alliance.
Hey.
So with that said, we're gonna bring our brother in from the Black Agenda Alliance, brother Qasim Shabazz in the house. Good morning, bro. How you doing? Your mic's not on. You gotta unmute yourself there. Sorry about that. Yep, you got a little issue with your mic. Should be if you don't see where to turn it on, you might go back out and come back in and see the option that asks you about turning your mic and camera.
I think
on.
I just heard something.
Oh wait, try it again. Okay, not seeing it. Yep. Come on, come back in. Yep. Sorry about that, y'all. We got some technical difficulties there on that. In the meantime, say again.
Where you want to go?
I can't hear you.
Oh, I was saying you want to jump into the chat. You want to take a break? What you thinking?
Yeah, we can jump into the chat. Yeah, you give him a second. He'll probably come right back in. Marlon Harrison in the chat is saying, I've been seeing a lot of former MAGA people cry wolf now that they are affected, and a lot of black people not feeling no remorse because we tried to warn them. Interesting comment.
Yeah. That's kind of where I want to direct the conversation, because it does seem like I'm hearing just on, the social medias, a lot of quote unquote black folks saying that, hey, we're going to sit this one out. We've been told, y'all, especially with this, situation going on with, some of the enrollment numbers, especially the college enrollment numbers. I think, people are saying that Asians voted for Trump, and now they're seeing that some of the DEI initiatives that have been rolled back, they have been benefiting from. I think it's been reported that Asian enrollment numbers have dipped, while African-American enrollment numbers have stayed the same, actually, in the face of some of these changes. So very, very interesting where all this is going. We got Brother Qasim back. Can you hear us?
Still can't hear you. Okay, he getting some. I see you getting some help over there. That's what's up.
There you go.
All right, we'll let you do that for a second there. In the meantime, Tony Johnson in the chat is saying, with the declining numbers of registered Democrats in Nebraska, an independent party is ideal. Makes you wonder what is holding current Nebraska senators to wave Democrat Party flag. When I think about I don't really think about independent party anymore like I used to. Yeah, he got some. Sherman say he needs somebody to help him. Looks like he got his technical advisor in there right now. They're making it happen. I don't think of the independent party anymore, because I kind of feel a little bit like the independent party is I'm not really sure like who's heading that up. It doesn't feel like it's drastic enough. Like when I think about a third party, I think about like the Black Panther Party. You know what I'm saying? Like I think about like a third party that is that we're leading, like the black community is leading, which is totally different than Democrat, Republican. Would have a totally different agenda that really would include us. It would include black and brown people, indigenous. It would include immigrant population. It would include all these other people that are not really being represented in the right way. So I don't know. Yeah, it needs to be a party independent of Democrat, and you know what I'm saying. It needs to be a party that's independent, but not the independent party. I think that's the distinction we're trying to make. Right. Looks like we got Brother Qasim back. Let's see what we got going on here real quick.
All right, did it pop on?
There you go.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Right. Yes, sir.
I had to do it from my phone.
Had to do it from the phone. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay,
Okay.
no, as long as we got you, bro, it's all good. Appreciate you.
Yeah.
Man, how you doing, brother?
Man, alhamdulillah. Alhamdulillah. I'm doing wonderful, man. I'm doing great. Great place in my life right now. Everything's amazing. Thank you.
Glad to hear it.
Beautiful,
Glad to hear it, bro.
beautiful.
I don't know if you was listening in on some of the discussion we were talking about right now, but it was leaning. You know, we're having a kind of a political discussion about certain people that's coming through, what's going on with Trump, what's happening with the Democratic Party, so on and so forth. And we kind of were leaning in this direction of saying we should have our own party. If there's going to, be a third party, it should be a party that's totally different from the other two. And when I think about stuff like that, I think about like what the Black Panther Party did. I think about what you're always talking about as well, with the Black Agenda Alliance, what you guys got going on there, self sufficiency, all these issues that we feel like if we were to concentrate on some of those things and gather people together, we'd be way stronger. What do you think about any of those ideas?
Well, you right on point. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Like, we don't care right now who in position. Nori said something at the last press conference that we had when he came, and he said, you pay attention to certain nationalities like the Asian. The Asian don't run that rat race, but they have so much civilization. Not here in America, they don't. They don't have politics, and they don't focus on those things. They have so much cultural. They're so culturally grounded that they take whatever is in place and they utilize it to make this situation a better situation. Okay, there are things that are in place each and every time, even though I don't, I'm not an advocate for any of the presidents, but we take what's there and we make it, we make it a better situation for ourselves, with culture being the head of that, and loving ourselves being the head of that, So we have to be able to pay attention to the signs, as Allah said in the Quran, the signs of the heavens and the earth in all its forms, and we're just not paying attention. So like this DEI stuff, bro, I don't care. Who cares? Who gives a? Who cares about? Why are we concentrating and focusing on what's going on at Target and at this place and that place? This is not these people's responsibility to help us love ourselves. Who cares? I don't care. You see what I'm saying? We don't focus on those things. Okay, and we're off centered and we're off focused, and we just but as far as the Pan Africanists. Yeah, alhamdulillah. And even the Muslim, it's a beautiful time right now. I'm in a beautiful space because people are starting to wake up and they're starting to realize, oh, maybe Qasim and them really wasn't crazy. Maybe they weren't crazy. Okay, they seem to be the ones who actually get it. Okay, because we don't put our eggs in that basket in regard to believing in something that's not designed to work for us.
Feel that, man. Brother Sherman Wells is in the chat. He said that, and that's why we brothers. I don't care. I heard that. Appreciate it.
Loving to death. Hey, the what they say, the road is thin, and we'll say that the workers are very little. Harvest is plentiful. Workers are very few.
Yes, yeah, man. It's the truth. It's the truth, man. And I appreciate what you said, man. It's good to get that validation too, that from people that thought it was extreme, and that they're like, oh, okay, now we're living in an extreme time from the other direction. So I guess we needed to be a little bit more extreme. You know what I'm saying? And
exactly.
I feel validated like you do about feeling that no, man, we gotta do something else. It's just all there is to it.
Man,
go ahead.
It's just kind of interesting. It's just kind of interesting the thought that doing for self is looked at as extreme. Like just that thought. That thought in itself. Like, what's so extreme about doing for yourself?
Come on.
Real. That's real.
And that's what I was getting ready to say, man. It's shit. Now it's extreme when it's logic, because it only becomes a problem when we're talking about doing it for us. Okay. Now there's a godly reason behind that. You understand what I'm saying? But it only becomes extreme when the black man, not the Mexican, not the Asian, not anybody else, talk about doing for themselves. It becomes a problem because we're the most influential and the strongest on this planet. They know that. And that's why they want to get that foot off that neck. See what I'm saying?
I just saw a video on the Jewish. There's a Jewish center in Nebraska, in Omaha. It's out west now. It used to be a little bit closer this way. And they were just talking about how it's been around for 100 years and all the work they've been doing and so on and so forth. I thought it was really impressive. And then I just had this little flash, like, what if that was, what if there was a black center that was centered around black folks that would have been open, had it been open, a community center, a rec center, all the things that Jewish center is. It almost feels funny to me sometimes to think that we could do the same thing that other groups and other races and other people do. And it almost sounds funny to me because of coming up in this society and being influenced in this society in the same way and living under white supremacy and so on and so forth. And I know that it probably feels that way from other people, but it does sometimes feel like an extreme thought just to go like, can we just have our own thing for a minute? Like, and the reason why I bring it up too is because I've been highly influenced. I just watched this documentary last night called Nation Time. I don't know if you've ever seen it, but it brought up this idea to me. It brought all these people in the room having a conversation with ourselves. I mean, Dick Gregory was on there talking. I mean, everybody who was a leader back in them days was really hammering it down and trying to get to an agenda. And that word agenda kept coming up. I kept thinking, what do we got modern day? What do we got here now in this city? And the only thing we have is the Black Agenda Alliance to create an agenda and have a discussion amongst ourselves. And I know that you got a lot of stuff going on with Black Agenda Alliance. It don't always get put out in the public because it ain't always for the public. Sometimes it's us in our conversations. So I just want to shout that out and just be like, in the long tradition of Black organizations and Black folks trying to do for self and build a party and so on and so forth, you're there. You're right here with it in the forefront. So please tell me about what's going on as much as you can share on this public platform with the audience that we have. What's going on with Black Agenda Alliance? I know that you got the Survival Club happening coming up, and yeah, let us know what's going down. What's going down, bro?
Man, we getting ready to get busy, man. I know we have the Urban Survival Club. As you can see, we opened the floodgates, and for several years we opened them, bro. We ready, okay? And we've been preparing for that. People don't realize what happened and what goes on in the preparation thereof. Man, I done spent blood, sweat, and tears, my home resources, brothers and sisters around me. Shout out to Aaron Forte. Shout out to Sherman Wells, James Henley, Wesley Williams, Terrell McKinney. You know, the Queen is so many things, man, that people don't see in the background. Like, we had to get to this point because we didn't have no blueprint. So there's a lot of things that I had to learn, a lot of trial and error, going through a lot of fire, you know. So now we here. We open up the floodgates, teaching the boys the things that we talked about before, the fishing, the shooting, the hunting, the carpentry. I mean, everything under the sun, car mechanics, everything. But the difference here is that we lead with the cultural perspective, manhood. We will be teaching you guys. I'm not going to say too much because I can't just yet, but just know we coming, and we coming hard. We coming strong. The military is here. Okay. It's here. Okay. And so teaching these boys and going back to the conversation, even about a DEI, it's our responsibility to develop and focus on our own and teach those characteristics and levels of pride and self-love to our children. That's our responsibility. Okay? That's it. Not nobody else's. And we're so unique. We uniquely different. The only way you can duplicate it is to be authentic, because we're headed up by that red, black, and green. We focusing on the Garveyism ideology in regards to do for self.
Yeah.
We're losing. The community is losing, because we refuse to do that. Okay. We refuse to do that out of fear. Okay. The leadership is trash. Okay. Even with this crush situation, right? Let's touch on that. Trash.
Please.
I see right now, I only see one person speaking out against it, and it's Maurice Jones, and who I've endorsed. He's not trying to make it sound good. He's saying, no, that institution need to go, and you need to act like y'all got some sense, because everywhere you go, stuff is getting shut down, is getting towed up, and that's the reality, and we need to face that. We have a hard time accepting the truth. Okay.
So your Ford Crush Lounge getting shut down?
Oh man, that thing got to go. I got in a whole little altercation on social media over that. You see what I'm saying? And I'm a whole guard. This is the thing. When I go inside of a facility, I'm probably the most preferred guard, one of the most preferred in the city. Okay, there's a couple, but I'm one of the most preferred. If you hire me to do a job, I come into that facility, I'm looking for a way in as an enemy, or I'm coming in as an opposition.
Okay. Checking the perimeter.
Okay. Checking the perimeter. They offered me the crush and I told them no. Okay. I told them no. There's too much going on. There's too much here. You got your levels, you got this, you got that, and the third is too much. There's no way to really avoid certain things from transpiring. Okay. And then we have to talk about the crowd. The crowd is what we consider to be extremely high risk. You have high risk and you have extremely high risk. Okay. Because of pepper spray, a lot of people have made it home alive at night. Because we've chosen to use non-lethals. But what they're not realizing is this. We had an altercation not that long ago, and we were in the process of spraying. And the police came over to us. They didn't want us to spray. They didn't want us to use a, what did you call it, a preventative measure. They said, no, we want to pepper ball them. This is what they told us. We want to pepper ball them. So they don't realize that they're waiting. They're doing everything that they can to intentionally hurt us and call. So what they'll do is they'll sit around. Whereas if there's a crowd letting out, right, and there's 100 people letting out in the crowd, right, and y'all in the street and y'all doing this thing, the pepper spray, I don't have to spray you directly. I can hit the ground and everybody gonna spray it out, right? Everybody gonna leave because it's so strong, the aroma, right? The police didn't do that. They wanted everybody to come out and linger. They wanted something to escalate so that they can escalate. Okay, this is a strategy, and we don't understand warfare, so we don't understand the psychology that goes into it. Okay,
it's type of things they learned in that Cop City.
I'm gonna set you up. I'm gonna set you up for failure. I don't want a preventative. I want to hurt you. Okay. So because of the relationship with the crush and the police department, one, and then just the type of people that it draws in, man, it was bound to happen. We don't know how to act. Everywhere we go, it gets shut down, man. We have to be willing to face that. Back to the Black Agenda Alliance. We have a big meeting coming up. We'll be dropping a flyer here probably in another day or two for the 23rd of this month. We get ready to open up those floodgates, membership, development. We bought all that land, and this year we plan to put something on that land, inshallah.
Inshallah.
Okay. So like I said, there's only so much I can say, but just know that we're working toward it. We independent, and those that are in supposed power, controlling the funds and all that type of stuff, they walk around us because they look at us as being too dangerous to their money and getting funding, and to them, because we're taking a logical, and because we call ourselves Pan-African, we take a logical approach. They sit in these corner pockets, man, and they try to do everything they can to not discuss us and what we have going on, even though should match our speed.
Yep.
Match our speed. The community is, and after every election, city council, whoever, school board, after every election, everything is getting worse. Everything's getting worse.
I feel that it's really striking me very much so right now about the fact that to this day, anytime we start talking about doing for ourselves, then we're too militant. That was the word they used. That's the word they used in '72 on this documentary I've been talking about, The Nation Time. They actually shut the film down because they said it was too militant, and all the brothers was doing was talking about creating our own party, doing for self, same stuff that you're talking. And here we are today, 2025, is still that way. We're still too extreme to most groups, black or white or otherwise, just because of the fact that we're trying to figure out how to put the self-sufficiency thing in play and really take care. So again, once again, I applaud you for that. Definitely want to jump in the chat. A lot going on in the chat right now. Brother Sherman Wells is saying there's nothing wrong with working with another race, but not until we get ourselves together. There's so much self-hate in the black community. How can you love someone else if you don't love yourself? The partnership comes with other races only after we have built a strong relationship within. I understand what people have said in the past, but this is not their time anymore. There has to be an updated approach without a total wheel reinvention, but real adjustments. I like that.
An
Appreciate
update,
that.
an update,
Yeah.
an update. And just gonna mention as far as a few comments about DEI. Also, and I definitely have some thoughts about DEI and actually how that might be to our advantage where DEI is going. As far as diversity, equity, and inclusion, because to your point, Paul, a lot of times when we try to do for self, it's seen as reverse racism. And, you know, people are, there's not a white history month. There's not a white this. So why do you need a black that? Which is very interesting. Yeah. But again, with diversity, all of that going out the window, we might be able to take advantage. Jumping into the chat, Ariel's 402 says diversity, equity, and inclusion have been the key factor in every American war victory, domestic and foreign. Natives helped win against other natives, Mexicans against Mexico, Africans in Somalia. Also, Brother Jahi Shabazz says DEI was implemented by Obama for the LGBTQ community, and blacks do not collectively benefit from it or affirmative action. White women do. And again, that has been proven with some of the, as I mentioned earlier, again, the decline in Asian enrollment numbers in universities, or while so-called African-American numbers have stayed the same. So we're really figuring out what's really going on outside. And I'll toss it to you two after saying this. And I'm glad you, Brother Qasim, rooted, you know, your movement in Garveyism, because that's one thing that I've been talking about as far as Garvey pushing the line that until so-called black folk have their own, then we're not doing anything. We won't be happy until we have our own. And we're talking about our own nationality. Let's just call it what it is. Like you brought up the whole point about the Jewish center earlier. There's a difference between black and Jewish. Like Jewish can be tied to a land. Where is Blackadonia? We have no land. We have to address that before we move forward. There's a lot of things in house that we got to touch on, and I think this is the time to have that conversation. So again, I'll open the floor.
Yeah, Brother Ship, just real quick, Brother Wells said that it's sentiment too. We are the only race that can't have nothing to ourselves. It always has to be inclusive. Shake my head. I'm done with including everybody in our empowerment, but they don't want to be included in our struggle. And I do believe that too. I do. We're all for trying to bring groups together. We're all about Fred Hampton, Rainbow Coalition, and so on and so forth. But Fred Hampton preached Rainbow Coalition, but he preached us getting together with ourselves first. And I think that that's a really important part. And something you said, Brother Qasim, about just acknowledging that we also have to acknowledge the problem that we have when we're out. You're talking about Crush Lounge. Like nobody has said that yet until you came on and said that. Like there is some issues there. And as I said, I used to be a security guard in LA for about 8 years. And so, I've been to the Crush Lounge before it was Crush. I've been to that lounge arcade or whatever it was. One time and did the same thing, felt the same way, looked around, I was like, there's too many exits, there's too many stuff, there's too much stuff going on here. Like when you think about how you're going to secure the building, it's bound to be some drama, some stuff going on. And the other side of that for me is that young people still though need a place to go and something to do, and because they're so pent up when they get out and go to places, and there's sometimes there's trouble. I can't put it all on them just because they are trying to be somewhere and they don't end up acting right. We don't have a lot of places for them to go even to learn how to act right. It
don't matter. It don't matter. At the end, respectfully. Okay, respect.
Absolutely.
The elders and the men in the community. It's time to put some accountability into place. Okay? We don't have time to party anymore. It's time to sit down. You want to shoot shit up, you want to get shit shut down, then we need to sit you down. Okay? We need to remove you. Okay? I just lost a brother, Jamma. I sat down at Juma the day before Juma. Jamma, I think might have been, I didn't know he was old. I think he was 70-something, 60-something years old. He was robbed and murdered by, I think, 4 or 5 kids. The youngest one was 11 years old. This was the day after I sat down for lunch with him. This man got a wife, he got a family, strong Muslim brother. If it's 8 prayers and there's only 5, but if it's 8, he praying all 8. Okay? Robbed him, killed him, murdered. It was just all over the news. The kids just got off. The youngest was 11. The shooter was 11. Man, I don't give a damn about none of that. It's time for some accountability. We got too much partying. There's no accountability. Shut it all down. You know what I mean? Shut it all down. You don't know how to act, we get you up out of here. We can give you some options, but I mean, as far as I'm concerned, man, there's not enough ass kicking going on.
Mm.
You know, and that doesn't have to be physical. You see what I'm saying? But there's no account of where the men who say that, you know what, we're not going to allow this to happen. There should have been 100 black men at the Crush Lounge. I mean, at the Crush Lounge, but at the city when they went to go vote against it, voting right against it with everybody else.
Wow.
Because you're making us look a fool. You acting a fool. You see what I'm saying? When do we as men stand up and put some accountability in place? Man, I don't care about if it's clean entertainment, alhamdulillah. If it's clean, then alhamdulillah. You got jazz, you got the stuff that y'all got going on, and if it's clean and it doesn't promote degrading to the culture, then let's get busy. You see what I'm saying? But this stuff that y'all see, everything that gets shot up, that's not the case. It's filth. So as a culture of people, we have to be willing to say, you know what? Let's push this shit out. And if you don't want to sit down, we're gonna sit you down with it. That's what we own. That's what we own. So a part of being a Pan-African is a part of being Black Agenda Alliance. There's gonna be some accountability.
Has to be.
There has to be, man. This ain't no kumbaya. This ain't no peace fest.
This Urban Survival Club. I'm sorry, go ahead.
Go ahead. No, go ahead. I'm sorry.
I was just saying the Urban Survival Club that you got going on. So when we think about the Urban Survival Club, we think about you taking brothers out, teach them how to build, teach them how to hunt, teach them how to fish, so on and so forth. But this is also a teaching of how to stand up, like you're describing. It's not just about the physical part of it, but it's also about the mental part of it. Teach the boy, create the man in the way that you're describing right now too, right? This meta, right?
Man, listen. After we do this registration on Saturday. Like I said, we open up the floodgates. The first class immediately after this registration process is manhood. We're sitting down talking about manhood, what that looks like. Okay, what it looks like and what it don't look like. Okay, so that's the first. So yes, to answer your question, yes, sir. It's morality driven. We opening up we unlocking the channels in your mind by giving you a resource that helps you become a man. And then we sit down and we tear you down a little bit, then we build you back up. You're gonna see them boys out here in boots and uniforms this spring and summer.
Beautiful.
We get ready to get busy. We get ready to get busy. Okay. And they gonna know the meaning of the red, black, and green. They gonna know what it is to be the original people on the planet Earth. They're gonna have some security about themselves. Some of them boys have been with me already since the age of 3, 4, 5 years old. They come every 100% attendance, them and their parents. I have 90%, 98 to 99% of the kids that come to me are reared by single parent homes. I've never met their daddy.
So what example of manhood do they have?
We
That's it.
They ain't got nothing else.
That's it. And we need fathers. Need fathers in the community. We've had this conversation about how, the whole welfare situation decimated families. I remember hearing stories of my mom telling me about, caseworkers coming into the house looking for extra toothbrushes and socks, and any sign of man in the house could lead to the loss of benefits. So again, very, very proud, to see that we have manhood being pushed in the community, and our, and we're reminding us that Nebraska has some of the most active hate groups. So again, what organizations are standing up in opposition to that? So again, we appreciate you.
Yeah, man.
I know y'all not. I know we ain't supposed to read comments. Can I just say something?
Go ahead, bro.
Now, I promise y'all I wouldn't do it ever again, but today I got to do it. What Kendrick say? Somebody got to do it.
Somebody got to do it.
So my brother Tony Johnson, I just want to say something, and it ain't nothing crazy either. It's not toward Tony Johnson said he's talking about the lessons taught in the numerous churches. Okay, and I'm gonna tell you something. It used to be that way, right? Now the church, every church you go inside of in North Omaha, They are having it just about exclude. I want to exclude the assembly. I love it. Assembly of the Saints is the example, is the prime example of what the spiritual institution is supposed to look like. But every other church in this city, if you walk inside of that church, because they little Masonic orders, there's an American flag in each and every church. Okay, brother? There's an American flag in just about each and every church. Okay, and so we're talking about an identity crisis. We're talking about their whole little Masonic orders and everything that they going on. They're not allowed to do what Brother Tony is speaking on, because as Desi said, the church is dead, brother. I just witnessed it's dead. Puts you to sleep. Puts you to sleep,
man.
Okay. Have you and that motherfucker submissive? Y'all done gave up $10,000 in tithes and offerings. Pastor get his cut. Everybody who counting the money get their cut, and then you back at it again next Sunday.
Did a documentary in college called Pulpits to Politics, looking exactly at that.
I counted shit last Sunday. I counted 12 of them on 24th Street from Cumming to Ames.
Yeah. The only ones active I see is Pastor Ballard and Pastor Portia.
Okay. I haven't met her, but Pastor Ballard and Stephanie. Okay.
Claire Methodist off of 60th and Ames.
We got to get going, but we appreciate it, bro. And that's a conversation for another time too. We're
gonna stay on today. No.
Hey, look, what Brother Qasim said, we got to do something. We gonna do it. I ain't trying to arm wrestle him.
Man, I'm stupid, man. I love y'all, man. Thank y'all for everything y'all do, fellas. Thank y'all, man. This is it right here.
Likewise, brother. Likewise.
Appreciate you. I appreciate you. We'll have you back again soon, bro.
Peace.
Yeah, Brother Qasim said we doing something. We gonna go on do it. I ain't trying to battle him.
Hey, bro, bitch, press a car. You know.
Appreciate everybody that jumped into the chat today and offered some good questions, good comments. I do want to encourage again, our style here on this show is to try to have a conversation without attacks. So got to remind folks about that, unfortunately, and also have a conversation that is going along with the conversation a little bit, not so much trying to be subversive, not so much trying to push agendas. So do us a favor and try to follow that lead if you can. And we'll continue to have the live shows. The live shows are here. We're a news organization, so we can absolutely disseminate the news without having community discussions 3 times a week. No other news group is doing that. So we're trying to do that so we can kind of open up and have some dialogue, have some conversation, get on the same page about some things and make some progress here. So let's watch the style in which we do that with each other. We're never going to agree on everything, but we don't have to resort to attacks and so on and so forth. So I appreciate it. And again, if there is going to be some situations that will get that wild, I highly encourage you not to take over our platform doing it. I have a new phrase that I say. It's called "take it outside."
Man,
you guys got each other's inboxes. Have the conversation. You can meet in person. We're all in town. Have some face-to-face conversations and see if you can get somewhere. But we're not going to have our platform hijacked because we're trying to do this a certain way in order for us to make some progress in the way that we see and a lot of the people that follow us see fit. So appreciate it. Appreciate all you guys who are fired up about all of these things. We all know that there needs some change to be happening here. We just have to figure out on how to change, how we can do that, what we can do. And with that, I'll leave it there. Buddy, you got some words for the people?
Yeah, again, appreciate y'all for sticking around for this conversation, and for those who stuck along with the conversation and added to it, we appreciate that. A big shout out to much love to Brother Qasim. Shabazz, again, the BAA gets down, man. If you know any young folk in the community, definitely point them towards this urban survival club, open enrollment. You see the parents getting involved as well, because that's what we need, man, especially men in the community standing up. Because we see, we've talked about the police, the state and the relationship between the police if we don't, it's the man. It starts with the policing in home. Starts at home, making sure that the family and therefore the community is steering in the right direction, man. So you got to know that the Jim Crowism, the Willie Lynchisms, all of that is for a reason, and there's a means to that end. So again, yeah, definitely big shout out to what Brother Qasim is doing. Let's support that as much as we can. And with that, shout out to all of you in the chat. Thank you for catching us, and make sure you check out the weekly rap newsletter coming out later today. And no further ado, Paul B, take it away.
Yes, sir. Yeah, please do that. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna put the link in the chat right now. If you haven't signed up for the weekly rap, please do. That's where the conversation is continuing on in your inbox, so that we can kind of bypass some of this social media trouble that we constantly have, or constantly battling against people leaving the platforms and so on and so forth. So yeah, direct to the email box, and you can always hit us back through the email, firstsky.omaha@gmail.com, and also hit the survey that's on that weekly wrap as well, because that'll really make it so that we can have some back and forth, have some conversation there. So appreciate everybody that's done that. Ceci Jean says, thank you, fellas. I appreciate what you do. I appreciate you coming on. I appreciate what you do as well, and everybody who joined us. Pop says, love it. Have a great weekend, everybody. Appreciate that. One thing we didn't mention is it is school's off today around here in Omaha. Okay. So a lot of kids are home. It is Valentine's Day. I don't know if you guys celebrate that or got plans for that. If you don't, then just appreciate the fact that the society wants to celebrate love, even if it's just only once a year. Man. But don't spend all your money on stuff, because that's the we're too smart for all that. But in the meantime, that's right, man. In the meantime, don't put too much pressure on each other about all that. We trying to nation build out here, not run after each other in the way that we gotta that's counterproductive. So just wanted to speak that truth and put that out there as well. And just take care of yourself today. Going to be cold this weekend, very cold. It's supposed to snow a little later on today and big time on Saturday. But don't forget that even though it's going to be cold, we still want to try to get out and support. Don't forget to support Verbal Gumbo that's happening on Saturday the 15th at Noma, the Old Loves Jazz. Doors open at 7:30. You can buy tickets at the door, but we highly suggest you go ahead and hit the link and get your tickets early. I'll put that in the chat for you there. And then, of course, we cannot get out of here without talking about the OEAAs, which is a very important situation here to give some flowers to the artists in Omaha, which we consider the warriors, the true love warriors. Man, here sharing their art, man. Love supreme, big time. So definitely check out OEAA Awards. I also put that link in the chat for you to buy your tickets. It's going down on Sunday. So check that out. Like I said, it's one of our best once a year celebrations that we have to celebrate the artists here. So celebration. Gotta have a celebration. Yeah. Stay tuned. We got special guests coming in on Monday, and we will be back on Monday to be able to have some more conversation here. Again, this conversation continues on Friends of First Sky Omaha for the moment until we find other platforms to put the conversation on again. Man. But for the most part, hit our website and sign up for the newsletter. That's the best way to keep up with us and what it is that we're doing. Thank you very much. Again, want to give a shout out to the Umaha Tribe elders for allowing us to be on this land and speak while we're here. Shout out to our elders for allowing us to speak before you. Shout out to you, the chat chimers, allowing us to try to have a conversation with you and try to lead the conversation and try to shape the conversation in order for us to be able to get somewhere, get on the same page, and get together as a people. There's no need for us to separate ourselves even any more than we already are. We're definitely here to try to get together in order for us to overcome. We're always outnumbered. We're never outnumbered. We're always out organized. So there you go. Yes. That's the key right there for us. We got to figure out how to get organized. So appreciate you guys, and we'll continue the conversation then. Take care of this weekend. Peace.
By the way, Vanguard. This is protected by the red